Families of U.S. service members who live in Afghanistan are stuck in the country right now, and they're blocked from relocating to the United States because of an executive order President Donald Trump signed his first day in office last week. That order is called Realigning the United States Refugee Admissions Program, and it went into effect January 27th. More specifically, there's an estimated 200 family members of U.S. troops that are in Afghanistan, and they are attempting to flee the Taliban through the U.S. Refugee Admissions Program. That's according to Sean Vanderveer, who is president of an organization called Afghan Evac, which helps Afghan allies relocate.
They feel betrayed. They feel let down. They feel betrayed by their country. And how could this possibly happen after 3.5 years and after President Trump campaigned on all of this?
The stated reason for the order was that an influx of immigration into the U.S. has strained states' resources. The order specifically says that bringing more refugees into the U.S. through the Refugee Admissions Program would be, quote, detrimental to the interests of the United States, end quote. What this means is that Afghans who were already in the process of immigrating are now stranded indefinitely. In total, there's roughly 150,000 to 250,000 Afghans who are trying to immigrate to the U.S., according to Vanderveer, who also stressed that it's not just families of service members who are affected. The order also impacts Afghan partner forces who worked closely with the U.S. military, women pilots, prosecutors, judges, and human rights advocates. Afghan Evac also estimates that up to 60,000 of those Afghans are refugees, including families of service members, partner forces, and individuals with U.S. associations. Now, 15,000 Afghans had already been vetted and were ready to travel to the U.S., according to Vanderveer, but their plans had been paused due to the order. The State Department had yet to reach out to these individuals in limbo, Vanderveer said when I spoke to him. He was also perplexed by the order since he said Trump campaigned on addressing Afghans who were left behind after the U.S. withdrawal in Afghanistan. During the lead up to the election, Trump criticized Biden's withdrawal heavily, focusing on the Kabul airport attack in Afghanistan in 2021, when an ISIS-K suicide bomber killed 13 U.S. service members and roughly 170 Afghan civilians. Trump even invited Gold Star family members of Marines who were killed in that bombing on stage at the RNC as a sign of support.
President Biden botched the withdrawal, right? Like President Trump had a lot to say about how chaotic and messy the withdrawal was, said he could have done a better job. He talked a lot about how bad it was that these folks were being left behind. And then they brought up the Afghanistan withdrawal every debate. Every day of the RNC, Afghanistan came up. They put the Abbey Gate families out on the stage. President Trump sat with the Abbey Gate families for 6 hours in Mar-a-Lago. They've done a good job. They did a good job talking about this.
Vanderveer said he was hopeful that the banning of Afghan refugees was just a mistake and that a fix was on its way. From Military Times, this is Riley Cedar.